Hi everybody, it's me, Sailor Moon, and it's me, Sailor Mini Moon, and today we're going to talk about this thing that I guess it really does need to be talked about. Come on. Sorry. In this thing we're going to talk about today is Sailor Moon fans, some of them who definitely think they're better than others because they watch the Asian Japanese version. Now, I've made videos on this before many times, but apparently some of these people out here, they think it's better. Now, it's not that you have a preference or option. That's all good with me. You know, whatever version of Sailor Moon you like, that's perfectly good because there are a lot of dub and adaptations out there to choose from, even if you don't understand a lot of them. Apparently, there are some people who are thinking that had come up with excuses, you know, like, for example, the reason why a lot of people don't like the English adaptation because they claim, oh, you use the excuse that the Asian Japanese names are hard to pronounce, so that's why you changed them to European Roman and European Greek names. Yeah, just because some people out there might be able to pronounce every Asian Japanese name that happens to be out there does not mean everybody else will. Okay? Just because you and a portion of people out there are able to pronounce Asian Japanese names doesn't mean that everybody else will be able to. You know? So that's my counter to that. You know, now I know some people are going to try to pass it off as if I'm being mean or if I disagree, but I do disagree because, you know, just because there's a minority of people out there, well, more like a majority, there's a minority of people out there who might be able to pronounce every name out there and understand it, don't mean everybody else will. Another thing is they complain, oh, episodes being immersed into one. They don't like editing and censorship. When you're referring to editing, you're referring to, oh, two episodes being put into one and fight scenes being edited down. You want to talk about Sailor Mini Moon? Yeah. You people apparently think it should have not been done. But as I've mentioned many times, the violence, okay, yeah, so there was cartoon violence or anime violence, whatever you want to call it. But apparently some of it wasn't really needed. Deke made the call, okay, a long time ago as far as the two, season 1 and season 2 are concerned, that some of the fighting would be taken out of episodes. Now, if that, now that's what happened. I know you people probably wish that there were all the fighting scenes were intact, but you know that's not what happened. And as far as episodes being merged into one, there was no rule that said you weren't allowed to take one episode and make a cliffhanger out of it. You know, tell me where it said that at. As I mentioned before, if Toei Company and Nako Takaguchi had an issue of how the Walt Disney Company or Deke Entertainment or Cloverway Inc. or Pioneer Entertainment was handling Sailor Moon during that time, they would have told them. And obviously they were okay with the censorship. Obviously they were okay with the editing or merging of scenes and stuff. Obviously they were okay with the characters' names being changed. You want to finish it off, Sailor Moon? Sure. Why not, Sailor Mini Moon? The point is, and then I guess there are going to be some of you people out there who think sexual preference was was pooped all over, or whatever you want to say. No, not true. The characters in the episodes were still who they were, even if they were changed. I know you people think that just because people are tolerant of different sexual preferences, and there are a lot of ones out there, you seem to think that implied back then. Well, you got to understand, maybe people are tolerant of sexual preferences nowadays, as far as it goes. But back then, sexual preferences in cartoons and anime was a no-no. So, of course, characters had to have their sexual preferences had to be changed. Zoisite had to become a female. Fisheye had to become a female. Who else? Well, we already know Sailor Neptune and Sailor Uranus were already females, so they became cousins. Now I know that you people were like, well, people are tolerant of sexual preferences nowadays. Yes, they are. Back then they weren't. And Deke and Pioneer weren't going to take any backlashing from people afraid that they might get some backlash from someone who said, well, you have characters who are, have a sexual preference and I'm offended. So maybe now these days it might be a little different, and certain things that people might not be, very upset over if it was in a cartoon or anime might be more open-minded to it now. But back then they weren't really that open-minded to it as far as being on cartoon or anime was concerned. So yeah. But it doesn't mean people with sexual preferences were treated badly or their characters were portrayed badly, because that definitely wasn't true. Zoisite was always going to be the way she was, or he was, depending to what W adaptation, and Fisheye would always be the way she was, or he was. And you Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune would always be the way they were, regardless. So nobody was taken advantage of, and nobody was humiliated or ruined either. So that's about it. I'm Sailor Moon. I'm Sailor Mini Moon. We'll see you later.